Hi everyone, I'm back again. We're on the third video of the healing journey, which is we're all creatively healing together. That's the idea, using my book and my beautiful cards. So it's illustrating how to get the best out of them. And what we're working with first is the very inner wheel, right at the center of our being, as you'll see here illustrated in the book. So these are very basic primordial shapes, organic shapes. It's before we really get into the all the geometry of the soul. So you'll see, looking at them like this, just how organic they are mostly. I mean, of course, here we've got some that aren't. And the important thing about, if you get the hang of these, then the rest of your being and what we encounter in everyday life is so much easier. So first of all, in the first week, we looked at Douglas fir, which is the I am, coming from divine masculine energy, very clean, kind of, oh, that's very pure. And now we're in the cacophony, the very exciting creative energy, goddess energy. And we're looking at the golden egg. We did look at it last week, but unfortunately we've still got more to cover, because this is, well, not unfortunately, it's fortunately, there's so much to cover in this beautiful mandala. There's so much that goes on here, because this is creative energy coming together of male and female. As you'll see, I'm just going to quickly show you this overview again so that you get this beginning to imprint on your mind. Coming down from source, there's the drop, the divine, and then you can see the egg. So we're in the being. It's before, this is being before action, and this is things that are going to happen to us in our life afterwards, and how we heal them and how we deal with them. These are going to be our little obstacle course that we then go through, which is really fun. If you look at it like that, then life becomes very exciting. Okay, so now what we dealt with last week was looking at male-female in its most kind of, I just ended on that right way up, so that'll be better. You know, the different kind of energies, the female very floribundant and the male very strong and clear. So we were looking at how we mixed these up and what we did with them. And we also looked at, as a bit of an art therapy tool, we looked at how to clean sexual energy in relationships. And I showed you one that I'd drawn about my relationships and how it was time to heal them, and I actually crunched it up and burnt it, which I have done, so that's good. So I'm feeling all lovely and released. But now we've still got to look at something that does happen in here, is codependency. So that's really important. So what is this kind of extraordinary, you know, term, codependency, which we all suffer from to a certain extent? And it's described as a dysfunctional helping relationship where one supports or enables another person's addictions, or, you know, just lets them underachieve, or allows them to stay in poor mental health or immaturity and just doesn't allow them to grow up. And I think we've all been through these relationships. But what they're really doing is showing us what's going on with ourselves. So it's very easy to say that, but what I love about art therapy is we're actually going to explore this and see it. Okay, so in a healthy seed, we looked at this last week. In the healthy egg, you've got healthy male, healthy female coming together, so they overlap, and you've got this amazing Vesca Pisces, this powerful kind of, well, it is the orgasm actually, but it's also relationships, it's also projects, and here you can see the spiraling up, and the seed is turning into a beautiful plant, which is easy for a plant because it doesn't have many emotional kind of pushing down problems, does it? I mean, apart from maybe herbicide, which is a big problem, and that's not something we'll get into here. But, you know, it doesn't have the same things that we go through in our childhoods or pressures. So you can see here, this is how it should be. Very balanced, male, female. Interesting here, this is actually a tiny bit unbalanced, but you know, that's interesting because I'm working on these videos and that's my male energy coming out, and yeah, that's a little bit tentative. Well, makes sense, doesn't it? Something I'm overcoming and getting on with. but it's exciting and it's causing huge amounts of growth for me, and I'm really surrendering to it and getting on with it. And that surrender is implied. Okay, so that's balance, that's the ideal. Wouldn't that be nice? But what often happens, so I wanted to look at what it looks like when we're in a codependent relationship, you know, and what happens is we go into, so we get an unbalanced, you know, the two rounds are no longer balanced. So we get one, it could be me, that's overcompensating for the other side and allowing the other side to stay small. And so, you know, you get this mothering, looking after somebody, I'll save you, the saviour person, people pleasing, oh, I've got to look after everybody, that's been a big deal with me, martyrdom, and actually you feel very lonely because you're forever looking for somebody to actually come up to here, to fill this space. But you're being pushed down, and this often comes from childhood. If you've had somebody in your life, male, some kind of figure, either a father or a mother, narcissist mother or father, who said you're not good enough, you know, and so you've got these things bearing down on you, pushing down on you, and so you'll manifest them in your life. And it's, I think, it's, you know, and here you've got the other side, the other. So the other behaves as, poor me, I'm not good enough, help me. So you're forever in this perpetual kind of wheel of, well, I'll help you and you'll stay small, and I'll help you and you'll stay small. And then the stay small is saying, but you're not good enough either. So you've got this kind of we call it the crazy eight. So there's a crazy eight going on here. I'm not good enough, you're not good enough, I'm not good enough, you're not good enough. And it all gets very unhealthy. And then you get all kind of, look, you're not able to create your little beautiful flower. It gets very crushed down. And what's happening is your egg is then beginning to deflate. You know, you're no longer calm, I'm strong and healthy and balanced here. So the law of attraction is going to say, you know, attract more and more unhealthy relationships to you because your vibration is unhealthy. And yes, I've been locked in this cycle practically all my life, so I'm pretty much an expert at this. So it's you know, I know how this feels, and your sense of self crumbles, and you feel very, very unhappy. So what's the way out of this? Yeah, what's the way out? Well, the way out is we want to get back to this beautiful golden sense of self, don't we? How are we going to do that? Well, the way out is actually, it's self-care. It's looking after yourself, which I've done a mandala for. I just wanted to quickly look at the mandala I did, just to look at the different relationships I've had. Again, I'm back in the kind of relationship, and you tend to always be looking for someone to complete you when you're in a codependent vibration. It's literally a vibration. I need somebody to either look after or somebody to look after me. So you're in that balancing around. And this is what I came up with. So I've got my different relationships here and the different, you can see the overlapping of it. And then I realized there was this kind of never-ending sense of defeat, really. And that I was pulling in more of them, and that everything was getting very, yeah, not very healthy actually. So needed to be healed. And the interesting thing is when I looked at this, I realized that looked like a dead tree. Wow. This is only actually doing the mandala again this time. So that shows how powerful they are. I looked at it and I thought, wow, I know this is self-care. This is how we get out of this. How graphic is this? Why do I not have a tree that's flourishing? And the interesting thing is the emblem or the mandala for permaculture is a tree with huge branches and huge roots that grows around, and that is not a crazy eight. That is a permaculture, which means that it can go on and on and on, abundantly supplying. So we're in the idea of abundance here. There is enough, you are enough, and that's fine. But what we need to do, instead of looking to the other and continuing on trying to have relationships with the other, blaming it on them, come back to self. and look at this poor little tree and maybe start to love it. So, okay, so I looked at that and thought, oh, that one might actually do this with that one. I think so. Yes, we'll get rid of that one. Woo! So then I went into the tree. I thought, right, I'll look after myself. What does a tree need? Well, it needs space, so a nice big egg is good. It wants to grow to its full potential, so it can fill that space and be its magnificent self. And you get the idea of the circles together there, don't you? This is where the permaculture thing is. So you've got the 8 here, wee, and you've got the 8 there. And it needs roots. It needs to come to ground. It needs to feel rooted. In time, in yourself. I mean, a lot of people travel now. You'll get these kind of wonderful, particularly millennials, doing all this nomad kind of, but that you'll find that in themselves, in their very kind of core, they're actually very rooted. They have a very good sense of, I get out there and then I relax. So they have the yin and yang. They can understand this wonderful discipline, surrender, and they get it. So anyway, I was really pleased with this. I thought, this is looking, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling stronger. I have got nurturing energy here, lovely food, and then I've got air and I've got light, and I feel space. And actually, I feel there's enough there. I did want to put a little bird on there in his nest. I kind of like the idea of being able to support life as well, just through generosity of being. I mean, I haven't given it away. It's just come and been attracted to me. So look how powerful these mandalas are. Actually, I wish I had that one just to show you the miserable tree, because it's very powerful when you see both of them together. So yeah, I just drank this energy and I went, yes, I'm feeling a lot more nurtured now. And I feel like I'm heading towards this, you know, golden. It's just by looking at them you can see. Yes, much better. Then I thought, okay, well, that's relation to myself. That's okay. And then I just wanted to look at it afterwards in a more geometric way. So, and I was thinking also about this wonderful Kahil Gibran, you know, the idea of interdependence. So I make myself happy. I have everything I need. And in that, from this place here, where I'm powerful and doing my own thing, which is why I'm doing these videos too, because it's always good, I can attract a healthy relationship to me. So this is what that looks like. And you've got, okay, so you've got the female, the male, sorry I did it that way around, male, and then you've got the female. And they're both about the same size. I mean, actually, you've still got this one a little bit smaller. Still working on that one. That's okay. We're always working on something. We're never going to be perfect. So let's just, with all that idea. But it's lovely when we can feel where we are getting it right, and it's okay. We are enough. That's the important thing. So here we've got this lovely strong, we've got the idea of the tree, okay? But we've got 2 trees now. 2 trees. So we've got the male and the female, and then we've got this burst of abundance, and we're able to create from there. That's why healthy sexual energy is really important too. Just playing around and having a joyful sexual life is important, but being aware of how precious it is, not giving it away, that's massively important. But anyway, so I just wanted to, it made me think of the, you know, the Kahil Gibran thing, and it says, you are together, but let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds dance between you. So this idea that when you are in a relationship, you are together, but there's space and there's respect. There's a buffer zone, which is also the joining together zone. And it's so beautiful. You can see that there. And you can see that there's loads of abundance going on there. We're not in the crazy 8. We're not in the you're small, I'm big. I'm big, you're small. We're in the I respect you, you respect me. I respect you, you respect me. Let's create. But this is our deep inner selves. I respect myself and I love myself. Well, I'll leave it there because I tend to yak on a bit too much. But next week we will go on to the tripod of life. I'll try and find that. But anyway, that's here they are. Because we need to move on to projects and what we're actually going to achieve together with our togetherness, either in a couple or in our couple. So I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for joining in. Bye.